Hi, and welcome to Alaskan in the Philippines, currently in Thailand. Today I thought I'd talk about how you should act in the Philippines. You know, the actual day-to-day, how to deal with life there and the people there and do it in a nice, good manner as a foreigner, That's the first thing you got to remember is that you're a foreigner, you're in their country, we have rights in the US, we have rights, and when things ain't fair, we stand up for ourselves. That's kind of, you really ain't got them rights when you're in somebody else's country, And that don't just go for the Philippines, but I'll talk about the Philippines. I'll talk about Thailand another day. But yeah, when you're in the Philippines, you're always constantly being bombarded, seems like, with people trying to talk to you and stuff and trying to sell you stuff. So you're always interacting. People are coming up to you, they're beggars and stuff. So you got to do, and prostitute, massage ladies that are calling you, how you deal with those, and lady boy even, what if a lady boy comes up to me, what do? Do you cuss her out and kick him out? And tell him to get out of here. And a lot of foreigners would do that. They don't want that people around you, So, but that ain't something you do in the Philippines. The Philippines, they have just as much respect for those lady boys as they do. In fact, they have more respect than you as a foreigner, probably. If push come to shove, they would protect one if you were beating up a lady boy, which you never want to do. The Filipinos are very kind people, very generous, and most of them are, they're not going to cause you any problems at all, and they're more than friendly. They are literally a very friendly country. But you will get people that are, a bit jealous of you being a rich foreigner. They all think you're rich, Just by you being there, you're rich. There's no arguing it out of them, No, you can say I'm poor in my country, but I'm just coming here and I'm still kind of poor here, And they won't believe you just because you're here, that you bought a plane ticket that was worth a lot more than they make in a year, probably, So they think you're rich, and some of them take offense to that a little bit. I've felt a little bit of a vibe, but you don't feel it often, Sometimes there'll be a crew of men or something driving by when I'd be going walking and stuff, and they'd holler something at you. You never knew what they were saying, but I always smiled and waved, I was polite, even if they were cussing me out or telling me I'd go back home. But I could hear them talk sometimes. I'd get in a trike and I could hear them say the word Cano. That's Americano. They call all foreigners that, and they'll be talking and you'll hear the word Cano come up and they're talking about you. It's okay. They're probably just small talking to each other. They're not meaning any harm about it. And you shouldn't really take offense when people talk their language in front of you, even if it's about you, Your solution is to learn that language. But yeah, anyhow, you don't want to be loud American boisterous, come into a place really loud, buying all the drinks and stuff. If you're in the bar, do it if you want. You'll make a bunch of friends instantly, but then you'll be expected to anyway. If you go into a Filipino bar that's all Filipinos, you're the Kano, you'll be buying all the drinks, and they'll expect it to. I don't go in them, but I've seen how it could be. But yeah, when the people are, yelling at you, or a beggars come up to you, always treat them politely, treat them with respect. I personally, I'm 50-50 on the beggars. I give probably half of them if I think they really need it and they're really sincere in asking. I do give them. I don't give to those bad-jow beggars that you see in Dumaguete. They come in on a boat and there's hundreds of them. They bring infirmed people with one arms and one leg, and they'll set them out and buy the McDonald's with a cup, and then the kids will all take off their shoes and rub dirt on themselves and go running around begging. I don't give to those. I've actually sit and watch them sometime. I watched one of the girls, a lady, walk out of McDonald's or out of a Jollibee eating something, and one of the bad job beggar ladies went up to him, like a teen girl in her 20s, begging, and she gave him what she was eating. I'm not sure what it was, like an ice cream cup or something. She gave it to him and walked away. And the girl was like, "Oh, thank you," pretended to eat it, and then when the lady walked away, she threw it in the trash. So I don't give to those. And I watched them count their money once in the alley. It was a lot of money, a lot, and they all pool it together. It's kind of like a mafia. So yeah, I don't give to those beggars, but I still treat them with respect. I just say, "Sorry, no money, no pesos, I'm broke." Pat my pockets like I'm broke, And that's one thing, you treat those with respect. There's laws in the Philippines that you gotta treat everyone with respect. They can have you put in jail. Remember this. If you argue with a shopkeeper or something like that, and they don't want to lose face. It's an Asian thing. All Asians the same way. They don't want to lose an argument, especially in front of their friends. If it ain't in front of their friends, it's probably okay. They ain't gonna like it, but yeah. You don't shame someone right in front of them or call them a thief right out, and you stole my this, or you ripped me off, or you cheated me, you trike driver, taxi driver, you cheated me. You don't go into that kind of tirade. You never do that. You never come unglued like that. You keep your cool no matter how bad you get ripped off. If your old lady stole your house and stole the land and the cows and everything and told you to hit the road and has your savings, you walk out politely, because she can make life very hard for you. She put you in a Philippine prison or call you into immigration, and you'll be held in an immigration detention center for how many months and with no charges or something. They can really, really put you in a bad situation. So whenever you're ripped off or you feel like you've been slighted, man, you just write it off. That's experience. You try your best to bow yourself out of that situation polite as you can and get the hell out of there. Move to another island, get out of the Philippines or something, It can get that bad for some people, You really have no rights here. And like I say, if you argued with a shopkeeper, make them lose face. They can file charges against you and have the barangay captain arrest you. It's that simple. You can't even call a girl a prostitute. If she's a prostitute and you call her a prostitute in public, you can be put in jail. They have a bunch of new women's laws that Duterte, or one of them, just put on the books too, where they made it easier for Filipinas to have men arrested for different, made them scared and things. Like we got U.S. laws now where all they have to say is they're scared and they're gonna have you put in jail. And it ain't above many of the Filipinas to do that too. So when they feel like their cash cow ATM's gonna walk away, they'll do whatever it takes to keep you there. And filing charges to get your attention might be one of them. So you keep that in mind too. And then when it comes down to the men, and you're on the street and somebody, some real rude to you or pushes you and tells you, calls you a name in the market or something, I've had kind of that happen before. I walked into the fruit market one time, and there's always one kind of smart-ass Filipino in the bunch that'll, a gang of the market shopkeepers there, and he started yelling, "Hey, Kano," or something. He's yelling at me, "Hey," and I just yelled right back at him, really brave, just like what he was saying. "Hey, how you doing?" Really loud, and he kind of got timid. He kind of backed down a little bit, and I didn't realize it at the time, but that was kind of not a good idea. That was a bad idea, being loud like that back to him. I should have just let him go. But I stayed there and I bought a coconut there at their stand, at the nearby stand. I don't know if it was actually his stand, but I bought a coconut and had a coconut there, so I gave them a little revenue in their area. But yeah, don't come in loud like that. I didn't realize it at the time, I lived with Eskimos for 42 years. They're native. They're actually Asian. They're Chinese almost, this is no kidding. I walk around Philippines and Thailand and I see Asian Thais and I see Filipinos that look exactly like my friends back home. It looks so much like them that I have to stop myself because I really want to go up and talk to them because they're a really good friend. And here he is standing right in front of me. But I know it ain't him. It's just crazy. So these people are Asian, just like the Eskimos in Alaska are Asian. And I know how to deal with them too. And you don't piss them people off. They got a very, very high, they won't blow up. It takes a lot. You really got to push an Eskimo to get him to get any rise out of him or get him angered at all. They're very peaceful people generally, unless they're drinking, of course. But that's the thing, You piss someone off like that when he goes home, he's all right. When he goes home, if he starts drinking, he might start thinking about how you made him feel like crap, and he'll come back with his gun later and just want to challenge you out in the front yard of your house. So you got to take that in consideration. They really don't like to be, be looked down on or anything like that, or be shamed. Public shaming is really the one thing they don't like, and it goes for Eskimos too. So I learned how to deal with that early on, and I still treat everyone with respect, no matter who, you know, even the gay Eskimo men I treat with respect and keep my distance, of course. But yeah, it's a thing. You really got to watch it. Be reminded, you know, like I'm a tourist, I'm actually retired here. So when these people are going about their daily business of bringing their kids to school or trying to do their job, even the Grab drivers, I just try to stay out of their way. You know, they're trying to make a living and I'm here just doing nothing. I'm in no hurry. So you know, if I'm waiting and they're trying to get through this traffic, I wait for them, let them go. You know, I'm not in no hurry. If somebody is there and wants to get in line and I can tell they're a Grab driver or something, I back off. I let that guy up in the line first. And you know, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't got nowhere to be, but these guys are trying to eke out a living, and you know, who knows what's going on in their head and at home and what problems they have too. So you have to consider all that. If someone's having a bad day, I still keep a smile on my face no matter what. I get cheated on, pay a little extra skin tax here and there, and that kind of angers some foreigners. You know, I don't like paying more than anyone else. This is a free country. I shouldn't have to pay, you know, or I can say what I want. This is a free country, freedom of speech. You can't shut me up. You can't censor me. You know, that ain't a good way to think in Asia. And lastly, never, ever, ever pick a fight with them. You know, never, ever do that. That would be the worst thing in the world, whether you won or lost. And there's a good chance he's a small little guy, he's going to have the heart of a lion, and he might have knives, and if not, he's got about 10 other buddies standing behind him that or know him that will, if they're not there at the moment to deal with, stomp you into the mud, they're probably going to deal with you later at some point. And it don't cost much to have you taken out in the Philippines at all. $100 can hire a hitman over there, I hear. 5,000, that's 5,000 pesos. You could be gone. So you don't want to ever have them kind of enemies. Don't get into land disputes or property disputes like that. Like, this is my wife's land, you get off. You know, no. You never do that. Always be kind to your neighbors. The worst thing that can happen to you is have neighbors problems. I had that in Alaska, and it turned into a nightmare for 3 years. You always do whatever it takes or move. Just don't be around that kind of bad neighbor, because that'll ruin your life. And never make a bad neighbor. That'll ruin your life. It is, you know. Your both lives are ruined then. It sucks. Don't do that. So yeah, just always have your hat in your hand. Be humble. Let them, you know, if somebody's yelling, let them do it. If there's somebody's going to rip you off, you can take what you can and get out of there. You know, you can't really fight it. You know, you could have a girl problem, just get out of there. Her dad could be the barangay captain at the police department. She could have friends at immigration that could have you, you know, there's just so many bad things that could happen. So when you're in another country, the Philippines, I'm speaking here especially, just have your head on a swivel and don't do anything that'll really piss someone off. Treat everyone with respect. Be generous and kind wherever you can, wherever it's appropriate, you know, and be a good representation of American or whatever your country nationality is when you're abroad, you know. So maybe people will actually deal with an American. Oh, the Americans I dealt with were good people. So, you know, just try to do that and don't leave any bad feelings behind you no matter where you go. That's my theory anyway, and I'm going to stick to it. Well, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.